Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? It's Trey TV. I'm back with another video, man. So check this out, bro. You feel me? If y'all new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up for the algorithm, man. We going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, everybody gonna listen to me sooner or later. I want to give a shout out to Edgar Berlanga, Canelo Alvarez. My predictions were spot on. At the end of the day, we knew that Edgar Berlanga was a great fighter. Well, I'm not going to say we. I knew that he was a great fighter. I knew he had heart. I knew he had skill. I knew he had footwork. And the best thing about it, he had a whole country behind him. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to have the hood behind you, but it's another thing to have the country behind you. And he showed up. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the outcome, he showed up. You know what I mean? He stood up to Canelo's best shots. And it takes a real warrior. It takes a real warrior to be able to get up from a big shot and get dropped in the third round like that and get up as if nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? Puerto Rico and Mexico always bring the best fights in boxing, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But, when you look at stylistically, like I told y'all in my last video, Canelo had a lot more experience. He had a lot more power, in my opinion. And he was going to be the front foot. You know what I mean? He was going to be the guy that put on the pressure. Put the pace on the fight. You feel me? Who was going to be on the front foot majority of the fight. And look what happened. I mean, he was stalking Berlanga the whole fight. But the one thing that I did notice, the difference between when Canelo fought Caleb Plant and when he fought Jermell Charlo, is that none of those guys had nothing to offer to Canelo. I'm going to say that again. None of those guys had nothing to offer to Canelo. And what I mean by that is simply like this, man. At the end of the day, you can have all the skill in the world, against a power puncher, against somebody who's on the caliber of Canelo Alvarez. You can have all the power punching. You can have all the boxing ability. But for you to have that power punch, I mean, one thing Canelo knew, that this kid can punch. I mean, he didn't knock out 16 straight guys for no reason. Bums or not. You feel me? It still takes a certain amount of power for you to deliver big shots like that to somebody. You see what I'm saying? So it's like Canelo knew. That's why if you go back and watch the fight, every time Canelo would throw a big right hand or overhand left hand, his hands were immediately back to his face. You know what I'm saying? He was very, very defensively responsible. You know what I'm saying? And he did take advantage of Edgar Berlanga's inactivity throughout the few rounds or so. But the one thing that I can say about Edgar Berlanga is he gonna be back, man. A lot of people didn't realize how much skill he had. Cause I ain't gonna lie, if you look at the Charlo fight, a lot of people thought, Charlo was gonna be dominant at times. He wasn't dominant no time. Edgar Berlanga still brought it, especially in the 12th round. I'm not gonna say he hurt Canelo or nothing like that. But he definitely gained Canelo respect. I mean, he was pressing the pace. You know what I mean? He didn't back down not one time in the fight. I mean, yeah, he had to clinch. Yeah, he had to move around. Yeah, he had to hold. Different thing like that. But when you get to that level, you got to do stuff like that to start the momentum of a fighter, such as Canelo Alvarez. I mean, it's simple. You see what I'm saying? But on the flip side of it, like I keep telling everybody, Canelo is a phenomenal fighter. He showed yesterday why he's pound for pound number one. I mean, a lot of people may say, oh man, he go another nobody Canelo fought. This guy fought, if I'm not mistaken, he knocked out first round 16 guys. 16 guys. And on top of that, he's not no bum. He's a young, up and coming. He's not even a prospect at this point. He fought for a world championship last night. You know what I'm saying? Even though he came up short. This the world championship fighter. You feel me? He done something that Caleb Plant couldn't do. You know what I mean? Caleb Plant got dropped yesterday. You feel me? Even though he got dropped, he came back and got the stoppage. But a guy that's been on the shelf for 3 years? Come on, man. He couldn't even finish the fight with Saul, man. Canelo stopped him. You feel me? After the first couple drops he gave him, he quit. You know what I mean? Edgar Berlanga didn't. So when you look at it from a heart standpoint, when you look at it from a skill standpoint, Edgar Berlanga showed everybody why he belonged to be here. And that's what I told y'all in my predictions. Yeah, I said that Canelo was going to win. That's evident. You know, experience trumps all, especially when you still got that bomb right hand, that brick right hand, and then you got that pressure. I mean, Canelo just got it all. I mean, he going to find a way to win for sure. That's why Edgar Berlanga was kind of gun-shy the whole fight pretty much. But he opened up. He opened up and he didn't back down. Jaime Munguia got stopped. Caleb Plant got stopped. Different things like that. Those, I mean, when you compare the two, I mean, it is what it is. You feel me? At the end of the day, Edgar Berlanga showed everybody why he belongs on this level, man. So I'm proud of him. You know what I mean? I knew this was going to happen, but I ain't going to lie. I didn't expect him to perform as great as he did. Now, when you look at it from a realist standpoint, maybe Canelo ease off the gas a little bit to let him shine. Not necessarily to let him shine, but that opened the doors for Edgar Berlanga to actually shine, actually show that he was trying to win the fight versus, you know, rather than Caleb Plant. We know as long as you can get through the 7 or 8 round, he's dead meat after that. Same thing with Charlo. Charlo showed that he didn't want no smoke at all against Canelo. At all. He didn't try to engage. He barely threw 2 punches around. And he got dropped. Straight up. And he didn't try to fight back. Berlanga fought back. That's the difference y'all need to understand. So he will be back. You feel me? Shout out to that boy. You know, shout out to the Puerto Rican fans, Puerto Rican fighters. Shout out to the Mexico fans. Shout out to the Mexican fighters. Those two are normally primarily the strongest races to go against outside of the urban community, such as the black community, different things like that. But I take my hat out to them boys, man. They put on a hell of a performance. You know what I'm saying? And anybody who think that Canelo cherry picked or anybody think that Edgar Berlanga is a bomb, I bet they won't last 3 rounds with him. If anything, 1 round with him. If that was really putting that heat on you. You feel me? But y'all let me know y'all think in the comments, man. Shout out to them boys, like I said, man. This Straight TV, and we out.